Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. In 8 games, I managed to pick up 29 kills with Terra Zarud. Hi, I'm Jamarcus. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I joined MSPL, and in the regular season, in 8 weeks, I managed to pick up 29 kills with Zarud, as you can see. And I'm just going to go over these 8 weeks and show you how I managed to do that. Um, it's by far my best performing Pokemon in one season. Previously, in 8 weeks, I got 20 kills with Terrapagos, and that was already like one of the highest I've seen. But yeah, 29 kills on one Pokemon in just 8 weeks. I've never seen before. So I'm very happy with how Zroot has done. Along with, a Great Tusk, I also have 11 kills on. That's pretty good too. But yeah, Terrazarud is a different beast. And let's take a look at how we got there. Let's adjust this, make sure we look good here. How's that? I think we're good. Okay, week 1, we're against Peter. This is Open Terra with Terra Preview. We're facing Terra Flying Kingambit and a Mega Slowbro. I have Terra Dark Zarud and a Terra Electric Muck. It's kind of just bait for the Shaman Sky. This is a pretty high-powered league. It's high-tier Terra and high-tier. So there are some Pokemon allowed that are not typically, like Chien-Pao, like Fluttermane, like Kyurem Black, although it is complexed so that it can't Dragon Dance, and some other good mons, But despite that, Terrazarud has taken the world or server by storm, I guess. Let's take a look here. So we're facing Cleaver lead, which is expected. Obviously not a great lead for me. I am faster than it if it's Scarf, but it's not like I'm OHKOing them. Um, I forget what set I actually brought on DX. I think I'm like Expert Belt. Yeah, I actually am Expert Belt. But I do have a Great Tusk, so I just make that a safe switch into me. I was actually surprised Cleaver showed up this game, just because I think it's so bad into Tusk plus Tinkaton. It's a really solid team. I didn't go over my team, but you'll see the members as we go. Sylveon is a switch. Kind of unfortunate for me. This was a tough turn, but I do go Muck. No, I go Tinkaton because I didn't want to get hit by a Spec Psyshock. If they were Psyshock, I really did not want to go Muck. So I go Tinkaton just to pivot around. But they don't actually attack. They switch out with their Sylveon, which was surprising. As I go Tinkaton. Oh, why did that go so fast? I don't know. Anyways, I go into Zarud on Slowbro because I'm jungle healing, so I figured there's not too much Slowbro can do to me. If they end up going for Scald and they burn me, that is really not the end of the world. So, I go into Zarud, and I do not get burned, which is really nice. I'm pretty much max Spadef on this Zarud, so that Scald did absolutely nothing. This is going to allow me to get my Terra off, which is great. It's going to get rid of some of my weaknesses, especially the Air Slash. Now Zarud can pretty comfortably switch it on Shaman Sky. Granted, I take Seed Flare neutrally now, so I need to be careful about that. I click Bulk Up as a Body Press. I totally forgot about Body Press in this interaction. To be honest, I thought I had won the game at this point, but because they are Body Press, I can get some damage on them. And I do Darkest Lariat. I brought Darkest Lariat for Iron Defense. Slowbro. I didn't think Knockoff was great here because it's not going to be doing very much damage to Slowbro, whereas Darkest Lariat is quite good. They do Body Press me again, but I can get another Darkest Lariat off here. So go Kingambit. So now I've gotten quite good chip on Slowbro. I can no longer switch in on my Zarud, and not really even in on my Tusk either. In comes Kingambit. I'm mono Dark move, unfortunately. I have Darkest Lariat and another move that you'll see shortly, which I'm very happy with having brought it. And then like Synthesis or Jungle Healing rather. So I go Tinkaton on the Gambit here. They're Terra Flying. I figured they probably can't hurt my Tinkaton very well because they're not like Terra Fire or Steel or something. But they Iron Defense, which was really surprising to me because if they Terra, they become neutral to my Darkest Lariat, and Darkest Lariat goes through the defense boosts. So probably not the best play on my opponent's part, but I did not want to take an Iron Head because it would have been doing too much damage to me anyways. So I go into Tinkaton. I think I click Thunder Wave this turn, but it's not great because now I can't Toxic this Slowbro, which I was kind of hoping to be able to do with my Muck. I go Deoxys, but it lets it heal, which is unfortunate. I click Thunderbolt into Sylveon, doesn't do very much damage at all. I find out that this thing is bulky. That makes me a little more comfortable going Muck. I figure they probably don't have Psyshock, whereas if they're Specs, that's a move they can easily fit. So I go into Muck this turn, just because I want to keep Tinkaton a little healthy. I take a Hyper Voice, perfectly comfortable, and I am Covert Cloak on this Pokemon, so it's a really good switch into Shaman Sky. I think I'm Rest Talk as well. They protect, which is fine. Poison Jab comes out. And now that this Slowbro is paralyzed, I can actually switch into this Muck really comfortably, which is too bad. And that is exactly what's going to happen here. But I expect that. So I go Zarude, which is going to give me a little bit of leftovers. I really need to get this thing back and healthy. I was not expecting Body Press, so this thing is quite a bit lower than I would like it to be. So these turns of switching it in as my opponent switches is going to help me get leftovers back. I go into Deoxys Speed this turn, figuring a Body Press is coming out as it does. I think, do a Thunderbolt here? No, I make another double into Zarude as Sylveon comes in on Thunderbolt. This might seem like an odd play because, okay, there's a Fairy type in front of my Dark type. This is not good for me. But considering their set, I can click Throat Chop, and now they are unable to Hyper Voice, but also they're unable to roar me out if that's something that they're carrying. So now this Sylveon's pretty much hard walled by my Zarude, and I can just Jungle Healing and get back to full health. And at this point, it's looking quite good for my Zarude. I'm back at full. I have setup opportunities on the King Gambit, and on the Sylveon, and even on the Shaman Sky. I'm pretty much max Split F, so the Shaman Sky's not doing very much damage to me. And I'm realizing I'm taking way too long on game 1. I'm going to start going faster. I bring in Tusk, very easy switch in for the Cleaver. I take Helmet, which is great. In comes Slowbro, which is totally fine. I can go Deoxys on this. They actually stay in and let me Thunderbolt, which is fantastic. It does quite solid damage because of the Expert Belt. I can now go Zarude. They're in range of one of a Darkest Lariat or a Throat Chop. I click Throat Chop because it doesn't really matter. If they go Sylveon, that gives me an extra turn to bulk up. I do switch out because I'm assuming they're Scarf. I don't want to take a U-turn. My opponent clicks Psycho Cut on a good prediction into Tusk. Unfortunately, the next one's not going to kill me anyways. Although if it did, I can just go Zarude and probably win the game. I could also go back to Zarude here, but I'm not certain that they're Choice Scarf, so I don't think that's a necessary play to make. So I do opt to just stay in and get my rocks. I go Tinkaton, knowing that Choice Scarf. In comes Slowbro, and I click Knock Off here, which is a really good play. I do not want to let the Slowbro heal up, so I can Gigaton, or actually I Gigaton first and then Knock Off will kill the following turn. So Tinkaton does get the first kill this game, but that is the last kill Zarude does not get. So Rocks get spun away, which is totally fine. I skill swap to get their Regenerator. I'm actually really happy I brought this. I forgot about this. Yeah, so I skill swap, which gives me Regenerator and takes theirs away. So that means they're not going to heal back to full. Meanwhile, I am if I switch out. They do overheat, which is totally fine. I Gigaton Hammer to get some more chip on them. Their cycles are now at 7% because they did not have Regenerator there, and I can switch out. And I can just go for Throat Chop here, and I'm just going to turn it on fast because I'm pretty sure Zarude does not switch out at this point. I bulk up as they can't really do anything to me. They can spam Wish, they can go into Cyclizar, heal up Gambit, whatever. But at this point, it's pretty much over. Opponent reels Swords Dance and Iron Defense. Iron Defense, there was definitely a wrong play, but either way, you're going to have to get really lucky with Shaman Sky flinches to win this game. I have 2 defense boosts now, so I'm totally comfortable switching or staying in on this Cleavor. And I also don't think you're going to have room for X-Scissor because you have Psycho Cut, because you probably want close combat on this as well. Air Slash only does 24%, really not doing much damage at all because of my Spit F, and then Throat Chop is just going to clean up the rest. They go Cleavor trying to pass the Wish, not going to work. And Zarude gets 5 kills with Mono Dark attacks. In into a Kingambit and a Sylveon. Very happy with the set. It worked out quite well. Let's move on to week 2. We're facing a Terra Hydrapple, their Terra Dragon, which is a good break because Tinkaton is my only fairy and my only steel. So it's gonna be very pressured here to take on this Hydrapple. Also a Mega Lopunny. So let's see what happens. I do have my Mega Pidgeot here over Blacephalon and Rotom over Muk. I'm Scarf Rotom here. It looks very good in his team because I think their ground type was a Palossand, and I did not think that was showing up. So Tinkaton comes in. It managed to knock off this Gouging Fire, and this game is what made me fall in love with Tinkaton. This Pokemon is such a good utility piece, and it manages to provide so much. It puts in so much work in the game. So I knock off the leftovers for Gouging Fire. Fantastic. I did not think Fire Move was coming out here because I have the most easy Rotom Wash Switch in ever. So I click Thunder Wave as a Breaking Swipe, not doing anything. I also have a Defensive Tusk. So I feel so comfortable into this Gouging Fire. I don't think that the Fire Move's coming out. I think maybe Dragon Dance is. So I get a little greedy and click Thunder Wave. Maybe that wasn't a necessary play, but it's a play I made. I don't know if it was the right one, especially because of how important Tinkaton is to take on this Terra Dragon Hydrapple, but that's what I end up doing. And I encore them into Breaking Swipe because I'm now fat, or I was faster anyways, but now I'm especially faster. So I can encore again. This thing's useless into me. I can encore it forever, so I can just spam knockoff and guaranteed get a knockoff on something else. Now, what the right play might have been is maybe going into Lopunny, especially if you're limber, like you should be, so that I can't Thunder Wave you on the switch, and I also can't knock you off because you're Mega. But because Mew switches in, I managed to get the knockoff on it. Knock off their Light Clay that is revealed to be screens. I Gigaton this thing now pretty much dead. The Flamethrower gets some good chip on me. I think I'm Citrus Berry this game. And I knock off again. I've now knocked off 3 Pokemon and paralyzed a Gouging Fire. I have so much information on their team. I've Thunder Waved one of their biggest threats, and I've neutralized their screens. And they revealed Mental Herb on Skarm, which is going to be really helpful because I have Taunt on this Zarude. So being able to taunt it to prevent it from whirlwinding me away is going to help my Zarude sweep in this late game. Despite Zarude actually only getting 2 kills this game, as you'll see. Yo, Rotom takes a lot for Body Press, but I get a really free pull switch here. Rotom does get sacked, but this is going to let me position my Deoxys speed faster than everything. Does a lot of damage to everything. Prima comes in. I decide to just get my chip. They reveal to be pretty Spadef or AV. Life Orb, I take a Moonblast, does a lot of damage. And I can get up a Spike as I go down here. So they actually flip Turn Out, which lets my Deoxys stay alive. Granted, they're probably clicking Fake Out here, but that's fine. I have a Rocky Helmet, Fizz Def Tusk. I'm not particularly worried about this Lopunny. They Quick Attack, totally fine. They've taken Spike, they've taken Rocky Helmet, and I still have my Deoxys alive to get off another Psycho Boost in this game, which is going to be fantastic, especially because I know this Primarina is AV. So having these rocks and spikes up mean it does not want to be switching into Psycho Boost anymore. I get up my rocks, and I Volt Switch out. Rocks are up on my side, which is not the end of the world. Next time Lopunny comes in, I can probably just go Tusk and spin them away as they attack me. I go into Tinkaton as Gouging Fire comes in, totally fine. I go Great Tusk now, which is going to give me an opportunity to click Rapid Spin because they really do not do much damage to me. They brought Heat Crash, probably the wrong bring into Great Tusk, as I can Rapid Spin as they get fully paired, which is quite nice. They do reveal to be Burning Bulwark. That's the only way they could have been faster than me there. I guess they could be like Protect as well, but I think Burning Bulwark is what they actually were, and they get double paired, which is quite nice for me. I am Earthquake, so I would have avoided the burn on Burning Bulwark, but certainly the first turn, being able to burn my Tusk would have been quite nice. Maybe it's an opportunity to set up with Hydrapple. Hydrapple does come in anyways, and I can just go Tinkaton here. If they click Dragon Move, I can encore that. If they Giga Drain, I can also encore that. They get my Citrus Berry activated. They reveal to be Life Orb. I can't remember if I click Encore here or not. I think I probably do. Oh no, I click Gigaton, figuring they probably don't want to stay in, knowing I have Encore. Maybe I could have clicked Thunderwave that turn as well, but Gigaton Hammer is going to put this thing in range of Rocky Helmet from Great Tusk, which is fantastic. I think that's the second kill for Great Tusk. Great. We killed Gouge and Fire as well. In comes Hydrapple. I can just go Tinkaton here. Guaranteed this thing's just not getting nasty plots up. The Earth Power, that's fine. I think I Encored into that, don't I? No, Gigaton for chip. I'm getting all my Encore turns wrong. And in comes Zarude to clean up this game. I'm Terrablast Poison. I click Knock Off first. Knock off the AV, and then yeah, 2 Terrablast Poisons will wrap this game up. There's 2 more kills for Zarude. That makes for 7. I taunt just because I think it was a roll if I killed here. So I just wanted to make sure that they were not gonna get a recover off. But Knockoff ends up killing after the life orb chip anyways. There's another 5-0. 2 kills for Zarude. Quite nice. Next week, facing a pretty scary team. Mega Scizor plus Raging Bolt. A whole lot of priority of this team. Double Healing Wish. Gonna have to be pretty careful with it. Dio as Typhlosion leads. Very awkward lead. I did not want to see Typhlosion this game. My Deoxys is faster, which is nice than Scarf, but I don't have a Shadow Ball switch in really, except for my Zarude, who is Terra Electric this game, which looks fantastic into Raging Bolt plus Scizor, and it also gives me super effective coverage into Enamorus, who otherwise walls me. This is a really free Terra Electric game for Zarude. I do Psycho Boost, get some chip on this thing. If it's Scarf, it's almost in range of rocks now, which is nice. I go Rotom, it's really my only switch in. They do Shadow Ball, which is a lot, which is fine. I can take 2, except I can't because they crit me. I forgot about that crit, to be honest. I go back to Dio, because if this is Scarf, I don't have anything faster, and my Zarude's really bulky, so if they're not Scarf, they might just be faster. And Flamethrower me, which I don't want. So I knock off, which would have killed them and also makes progress into everything else. I knock off the Chopple, which is quite nice. That means with a little more chip, super power, I think I have, a Dio will kill. Misty Ceaseless Edge, that makes up for the crit. Although, my opponent probably would have rather not crit and gotten the spike up. I bulk up on Enam. I Terra Electric, and I bulk up again. Terra Blast would not have killed at this range, but with another boost, it will kill. So either way, I'm taking the damage, but this way I get extra boosts. Granted, with the 2 Terra Blast route, I would have gotten an extra turn of leftovers. Is that true? Yes, that is true. So I would have gotten an extra turn of leftovers, but I would have been weaker. So given that I switch out on Raging Bolt anyways, maybe 2 Terra Blast was actually the play. Because I would have been a little bit healthier. But I also would have been less threatening, so maybe that would have allowed them to go into something else, I'm not sure. But Terra Dragon Raging Bolt comes in and they drop a Draco on me, which I do have Tinkaton, and I have an Assault Vest Raging Bolt as well, so I'm not too worried about this Raging Bolt, although Great Tusk certainly does not want to be taking a Draco. Scizor comes in, and I get my rocks up, the Mega, and I get a Thunder Wave off, which is fantastic, as a ST, really scary. They Bullet Punch, does a lot of damage. I get a Citrus Berry up, and I Encore. Bad play for me. I totally forgot that they would be able to Bullet Punch before my Encore. So now I'm falling with them to Bullet Punch, which is nice, I guess, but probably should have just switched instead of taking so much damage on my Tinkaton. I stay in, willing to sack Tinkaton, because I don't really want to go Zarude and take like 40% from Bullet Punch. So I get 9% chip, which doesn't really matter. And now I go Zarude this turn, which is probably wrong. I take 33, but with leftovers, like it's comfortably not 2 KOing, but it's a little close for comfort. I do have Synthesis though, so it helps me heal off the damage pretty well. I go take it up to second now, but they actually switch into Raging Bolt, so that's nice for me. I think I click Flare Off again here. Yeah, so Scizor is getting chipped a little bit more and it's lost its Source Dance boost now. So I can go Great Tusk and comfortably 1v1 it, but they go Typhlosion anyways. I find my AV unfortunate, and they set up a Curse, which takes some health from my Tusk. but not so bad. They go Mesprit. I go Vanilluxe. They get up the rocks, and I taunt them here. I'm very happy I brought Taunt on Vanilluxe. I did not want them Healing Wish and getting this Scizor back to full and no longer Parrot. So I taunt them, they just turn out though, which is fine. They go Scizor, Bullet Punch does not kill me because of the defense boost, and I think I'm quite bulky as well, so I can get an Aurora Veil up. They Roost, maybe I could have taunted, but if I taunt and they just Bullet Punch into a KO me, that kind of sucks. So I get my screens up. Tusk comes in. As a Swords Dance, totally fine. I have Temper Flare. It's going to do quite a good chunk. They get fully parried, which is really nice. I do have an Aurora Veil up, so I don't take too much damage, but keeping this thing like out of range of, you know, maybe a Samurott move is nice. Speaking of Samurott, it comes in now, and they double out. Maybe expecting my switch, but I'm not switching. They don't really do too much damage to me. I knock them off. The Psychic Noise doesn't do a whole lot. And I think I can just knock off again. And then get a kill with Headlong Rush. Zarude got 1 kill so far, and I think it does get the next 2 eventually. I get a little bit of chip with Tusk, goes down to Draco, and then I think Zarude cleans up from here, if my memory serves. Zarude comes in, and yeah, Darkest Lariat, Zarude gets 3 kills, up to 10 now, after 3 games. Next week, we're facing Spoods. I forgot to say my opponents, by the way. We're facing Dawn week 2, Pyro week 3, now Spoods. And we're going to have Rapaz into Spoods. He's got a Flutter Mane, he's got a Roaring Moon, Melmetal. Really scary top 3. I do have a Rotom Wash though for the Melmetal, which is quite nice. Tentacruel, totally fine. I have a Deoxys. I set up a Reflect as they flip turn out. Surprised they were willing to Data Psycho Boost, but maybe they're Assault Vest and live. In comes Roaring Moon, totally fine. I can Thunder Wave that. It's really nice that I got that Thunder Wave off. The damage reveals Choice Band. If they were Choice Scarf, I can't remember what my reasoning was. Well, I already had the Reflect up, obviously, so I would have lived Choice Scarf and Thunder Wave them anyways. And if they're not Choice Scarf, like sub DD, I'm not worried because I'm faster and can Thunder Wave them. I get up a Spike as I die. This Spike is super important, as you'll see. I know they're locked into knockoff, so I bring in Zarude with my Reflect up, and I Swords Dance as I get fully parried. That's really nice. I Trailblaze because I want a speed boost. My concern was I don't want them. Oh no, that was later. I Trailblaze because I don't want them. I don't remember actually. I didn't want to Swords Dance again for some reason. They knock off my Roselli, very unfortunate because they are Terra Fairy, but they're Fairy Plate or whatever the thing on Silvally is called. Fairy Memory. Then comes Tentacruel as I Swords Dance again. And because of this spike, Trailblaze kills that. The reason I click Trailblaze is because I've lost my Roselli Berry, which means Booster Fluttermane or Scarf Fluttermane can just come in and revenge kill me. But because I get the extra speed boost, I'm now faster than it. In comes Terra Fairy Silvally. I think this was a bit of a misplay from my opponent. They could have waited for the Reflect to end, and then this multi-attack maybe could have killed, but they did not wait for the Reflect to end. I do reveal Drain Punch here. Drain Punch is my last move. I certainly could have avoided revealing that, and they go Melmetal, but they have no reason not to Terra with Melmetal, so I figured I can just reveal it. They do go into it, and this was a tough turn for me. +4 Terra Darkest Lariat doesn't always kill, so I do click Drain Punch here to get a little bit of health back, which gives me a better chance to live if they are Choice Band Double Iron Bash. They protect though, which is totally fine. They get a little bit of leftovers back, but it doesn't really matter. I Drain Punch on the following turn, so I Darkest Lariat into the Protect, and then I Drain Punch because they didn't Terra. That gives me a lot of health back. They Double Iron Bash, they're not Choice Band though, so I can take that quite well, and then I can Darkest Lariat here to get the guaranteed kill. And then at this point, I outspeed and outco everything. They intimidate, not gonna matter at this point. Had they done that before going Melmetal, maybe they could have lived. Especially if they had Terra Electric, like, there's definitely no reason not to do that. And then Fluttermane comes in, they are booster speed, but I am faster. So 6 kills for Zarude, up to 16 after 4 weeks. Next game against, if you want to call him my rival, Frozone. At this point, we were 1-2. He was up 2 games to 1 on me, and he's got a scary team. Really solid Fairy Dragon Steel Core, and then this Muk is just such a good answer for my Deoxys and my Blacephalon. It's really unfortunate. There was a Gorgesh on the bench that I was quite scared of, because of Tusk. I did not want to get Spike stacked, so I was hoping I could remove with Tusk, but Gorgesh is a fantastic spin blocker into Tusk. Temper Flare is just not doing quite enough damage. So 0 aura lead, not what I wanted to see. It's tough if I click Psycho Boost this turn or not, because if they're AV, I don't do particularly a lot of damage and they knock me off and do a lot. My whole reason of leading Deoxys was to force this Muk in. I really wanted the Muk to come in because I'm counter on Deoxys. My plan is for Muk to click knockoff on me, counter, kill it, so that Zarude, which is also just walled by Muk, can have an easier time, and also Blacephalon. That's my plan with this Deoxys. I set up a spike because I'm so sure Muk is switching in, Muk is switching in. Why are you taking so much damage on your 0 aura for no reason? But they don't, they just knock me off, which is too bad. So I go for Psycho Boost this turn, and I don't get the play wrong of Muk coming in. If Muk comes in there, that's really bad for me because I get no damage on it. I get no damage on 0 aura. All I got was a spike for my whole Deoxys, which is not quite worth it. But I do get 80% on this and a spike up, which is good, but Muk's at full health, which is still bad. At this point, this turn was like where it was really bad for me. I don't have a Scarfer. 0 aura speeds my whole team at this point. So I just bluff Scarf with Blacephalon. I'm not Scarf. I am Sash, though. I brought double Sash into Frozone. Kind of grimy of me, but yeah, I brought Sash. So I click Flamethrower here, figuring Muk wants to come in. They revealed to be not boots, which is great. I Flamethrower, and I burn them. That's so good for me. It gives me that extra chip, which is going to let Flamethrower to a KO, whereas previously it would not have. So I am Sash here, and I had some options to make here. I will live Pursuit because they're burned. I'm Sash, so I live anyways, but I live it very comfortably because they're burned now. I think Pursuit would only do about 50% to me if I don't switch. If I do, it'll take me down to Sash. Same with Knockoff if I stay in. I can either switch and hope they don't Pursuit. If they do Pursuit, I lose a lot and don't gain that much. Or I can stay in, and I do stay in. I click Flame Charge because I have Flame Charge. I reveal that I'm not Choice Scarf. And I figured this thing's going to force so much progress into my opponent's team right now because they don't kill me unless they have Shadow Sneak the next turn, or they have Shadow Sneak on Val. Then Blacephalon's going to force a lot. They do click Knockoff though, not Pursuit, and they get the Poison Touch, which really sucks. The next turn I would have been able to kill them with another Flame Charge. Well, it would have been a roll actually. Then what? Actually, yeah, maybe because they ended up being Booster Val, so I would have had to Flamethrower the next turn because Flame Charge would not have killed. So maybe the poison didn't actually matter now that I'm looking at it. I mean, it would have been a roll to be fair. Anyways, I go Zarude and I Terra Blast Fairy to get a kill because I don't really want to go into Tusk. I can't remember what my set was, but I go Zarude and I pick up a kill with Terra Blast. In comes Celesteela. I don't have a whole lot for this thing. I just knock them off. It does a lot of damage. I'm really hoping they're not Steel move, although I don't think they will be because they're Terra Flying. They Autotomize, totally fine. They Terra Flying, Air Slash, they miss, which is fantastic. I am pretty Spadef, but the miss obviously is nice. I knock off again. They air slash, does 32%. They get a flinch, unfortunate. Leftovers though. They miss air slash again, certainly unfortunate. The most likely outcome here is they hit all of their air slashes and they flinch one of them. So the fact that they missed 2 and only flinched 1 was quite unlucky. I do misplay here by killing them with knockoff. I should have killed them with Terra Blast. I wanted to knock off just because it looked better into the team for me. I figured knocking off Val is good. Knocking off Talonflame is good. Whereas Terra Blasting into Talonflame, not as good. But because I knocked off and killed Celesteela with that, Iron Valiant can come in and encore me. Whereas if I kill them with Terra Blast, this is not a play they can make. They kind of are forced to go Talonflame or just get damage with Zero Aura. If I knock them off, that's all I can do. I do get some damage, but it's not great. I go into Rotom. Maybe a misplay. Because look at my team and look at a Talonflame. When I have Great Tusk, Zarude, Tinkaton, that kind of sits on my team and beats them. Rotom's all I really have left to kill Talonflame, so I need to be careful. And by being careful, I sack 90% of my Rotom just to pivot around this Iron Valiant. I can now go into Zarude and Terra Blast. And knock return for me. I think I have jungle healing here. So if I do get burnt, it's okay. They Flare Blitz though. Oh, I think I do have Synthesis actually. And I Encore them. I figured if they Wisp, if they Roost, if they Defog, I can Encore them and force a lot of damage. They Flare Blitz again. I think I have Synthesis, right? Yeah. So I need to be watching out for a burn here for sure. They Flare Blitz again. And I know that after the recoil, they will die to a Terra Blast. I click Terra Blast so that I don't risk Flame Body. That's the 3rd kill for Zarude here. In comes Chomp. This is a misplay for sure. I can probably just go Rotom. But I forget that Chomp isn't gonna die to Terra Blast, like, at all. So I probably could have saved Zarude, and it would have cleaned up the late game, but instead I sack it to Garchomp. And at that point, it's low and it's slower than everything, so it just gets OHKO'd. So no reason to save it at that point. I go into my AV Tusk. It gets crit by Draco, but I do live, and I can Rapid Spin. And I can Rapid Spin again to clean up the game with Great Tusk, because they did not bring priority on Iron Valiant or Zero Aura. Down goes that, 3 kills for both Zarude and Tusk. We're up to 19 kills on Zarude in 5 weeks. Next up, we're against Umbreon. Terra Water on Keldeo. I think this is the best team in the league. It's Mega Latias. Let's see what happens. They lead Heatran, I lead Tinkaton. Really bad for me, but I do have a Rotom Wash, a very good switch into Heatran. And at this moment in the game, I'm like, what if they're power of Solar Beam? Surely not. Surely not. They are. It doesn't kill me, which isn't great. And I get really lucky with my opponent's prep here. They're slower than my Rotom Wash. I'm defensive. So the fact that they're slower here and take a Hydro Pump is necessary. I think I lose the game on the spot if they were faster than me and just kill me. Looking at my team, like, it forces me to go Great Tusk on this Heatran, but Tusk just doesn't really accomplish a whole lot this game. They kind of just go Mega Lati. And I think I have booster speed, so I didn't want to burn my booster speed. So because I got the Hydro Bump off, that allows Modest, Specs plus Ephelon to come in and Shadow Ball and pick up a kill. Because Meow. What a hard turn for me here. I have the freest Tinkaton. Tinkaton's like the best Meow switch of all time. Such an easy switch to make. And my opponent knows that, so are they going to just knock off my Tinkaton? Knock off is a safe play to make here, because getting a knockoff on my Tinkaton makes progress. But also, if they try to read me and go for U-turn, as I go Tinkaton, I look at the team like, okay, I don't even care where they go into. Tinkaton beats everything. So that's my justification for switching Tinkaton here, and I do agree with my play. Granted, my opponent clicks U-turn this play, which I disagree with. because if you U-turn on my Blacephalon, nothing on your team takes this shot. Like, everything dies. I'm modest choice specs with +1 special. I have 1,000 special attack right now. Everything dies. Unaware Clef takes like 80, I think. And then obviously dies the next turn. So I disagree with this U-turn play. I do go Tinkerton, and I'm okay with this. I don't lose that much from them U-turning on me. I think I'm Citrus here, though, not Rocky Helmet. There goes Scizor. Not the end of the world for me. I can just go back to Blacephalon. I think they're probably not knocking off this turn. They actually Swords Dance. This Bullet Punch could kill me if they're Life Orb. And if they are Life Orb, I probably just lose the game. But they aren't. So I click Flamethrower. As Keldeo comes in, I do 41%, which tells me they're quite bulky. And that's not something I calculated in the moment, and that's a big mistake. They reveal leftovers. Okay. I have Zarude. That's really my only switch in. Rotom was my switch in to Keldeo, but it's now dead. So I go Zarude this turn. As my opponent, Terra Waters and click Secret Sword on my Blacephalon that's locked into the fire move. Now, had I calced, I would have realized this Keldeo is so bulky, and it also did so much damage. My Zarude's faster than this. I have quite a bit of speed on my Zarude. I think I have enough for max speed Heat Trap. So I'm going to be faster than this Keldeo. I can just kill it with a grass move. But I don't recognize that in the game. I think this Keldeo could still be faster than me, but I know it's not because of how much damage it did and how little damage it took. So instead, I go into Deoxys here. Granted, they do have Vacuum Wave, but if I Terra Water my Zarude, that would not have killed. So I go Deoxys, and I Psycho Boost, and it doesn't even kill because they are so bulky. And then Scald is just going to take out my Deoxys. So I've now lost most of my Zarude and all of my Deoxys. I can go Great Tusk here to pick up a spin kill. I click Ice Spinner. I still, like, I maybe the right play even was going Blacephalon and picking up a kill instead of going Tusk. But again, I didn't recognize that this Keldeo is guaranteed slower than my Blacephalon. So I go Tusk instead. In comes Clef. I do have Heavy Slam on this though, which is fantastic. I do live a Moonblast here unless they're like Life Orb, Magic Guard, or like max special attack, which they are, judging by that damage, but they do predict me going Tinkaton and get that wrong, so they do lose their Clefable, which is great for me, but at this point I don't really have a great win con. My Blacephalon is just going to get outsped and die to Meowscarada. Tinkaton can't really do a whole lot to this Latias, assuming it has Recovery. I'm looking really weak to Scizor in the late game as well. I just get some chip with Great Tusk as it goes down, and I go Tinkaton. They recover as I Encore, as they go Scizor, and I go Blacephalon. I'm really happy with this play. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, do I click Flamethrower and kill the Scizor? Do I click Shadow Ball as Mega Lati switches in? And I click Shadow Ball and I get the play wrong. It is a roll, unfortunately. I don't get it. And they dual wing beat and they do kill me. Oh, no, sorry, they don't kill me, but they put me in range of Bullet Punch. And I have no reason to save this Pokemon at this point. It's outsped by the other two and dies to Bullet Punch, so it'll never do more damage this game. I go Zarude, I Terra Water, and I kill it with Darkest Lariat. So I get one kill with Zarude, but the game's pretty much over at this point. I am going to lose. Although Tinkaton looks really good into the last two, it's going to take too much damage. Knockoff sucks, or the crit sucks rather. Mega Lati comes in, I Gigaton. I Encore them into Mist Ball. But that will be doing too much damage. I do get a higher roll here, which means I'm dead to the next one, so that I cannot kill with Knockoff this last turn. So I would have lost the game anyways, but I would have gotten one more differential. So really unfortunate game, only one kill with Zarude. My opponent made some really hard calls and got them all right, so definitely deserved the win, for sure. I could have certainly played better on the Keldeo. I did not recognize how slow it was, despite being given that information. Had I recognized how slow it was, I could have just killed with Zarude, and I would have had a whole Deoxys in the back. which would have been really helpful in this mid to late game. So my first loss, but that's alright. We jump up to 20 kills with Zarude. Next up, we're against Jam, Sonic Knight, and another very strong team. Terra, Iron Moth, Dragapult, Mega Diancie, Jirachi as their top 4. I think it's a really solid team. I have Terra Water Zarude once again, facing Terra Grass Moth, Unfortunate, and Terra Poison on the Gastrodon. I lead Rotom Wash. They Moonblast does a lot of damage. I was really close to clicking Toxic this turn, because I thought Gastrodon was just the freest switch ever. But again, if I Toxic into the Mega Diancie and just Toxic myself, that's terrible. I also am surprised they stayed in. If they take a Hydro Pump, they just die. And is that worth your Mega Diancie? Probably not. I do Volt Switch as a bit of a mid-ground. If they go Gastrodon, it's not the end of the world. I can go Tinkaton at this point and threaten Gigaton Hammer. Oko. As they go Jirachi, totally fine. They take 20. I go Rotom. They get rocks up. I get some leftovers back. I can defog these rocks right away. This is Nat Dex, so I do get defog here. Diancie comes in. I can go Tinkaton once. I will live Moonblast into Earth Power. I can threaten another Gigaton here. Or do I click Knock Off this turn? No, I double into Tusk, expecting them to switch into Jirachi here. And I have Choice Band Tusk, so I can get a really free close combat. I don't think Dragapult's going to be your initial switch in. They end up being Fizz Def Rotom with Helmet, so we had a lot of damage on that. I would have loved to kill, but weakening this for Zarude, which is a sweeper set here, with Screens Deoxys. I think I'm Screens Deoxys. It's going to be really nice. Actually, this was a really nice play I liked as well. They know I'm Choice Band. They might not want to sack their Rotom, so they go Dragapult. But Muck also just covers the Rotom. So I go into Muck. As Dragapult comes in, gives me a really free knockoff. Nothing on the team wants to take this, unless they're Sticky Hold Gastrodon, which I think they'll be Storm Drain for my Rotom. I knock off their Culper Berry. It's really nice. They get rocks up. Again, it's okay. My Rotom is pretty low, so I'm unlikely to be able to defog these rocks away, but I'm getting this Jirachi really low, which is great. Granted, they are getting chip on my Muck. Maybe I should not have taken that Iron Head. I do switch this turn because I want to keep this quite healthy for the Iron Moth. I am Split F with leftovers. I think it might even be Rest Talk. They make the double into Diancie, which is a really nice play because they can take the knockoff and kill me, or at least do some damage. And then covers the Rotom as well. Pretty much forced to sack Rotom here. It's okay. I can go Dio, get up my screens. I have Taunt, which is really nice. Prevents a Healing Wish from coming off. They end up being Thunder Wave though. Wait, my screen's up. As Thunder Wave gets clicked, they go Pulse. Ice Beam, really nice chip. It's going to be helpful for... Actually, I mean, it dies to knock off anyways, but... They Sucker Punch here, which is great for me because it lets me get in Zarude. Allows me to set up. I think I click Trailblaze this turn because I know they'll die after Life Orb. I do Terra there in case they're U-turn. It does make me take more damage from Sucker Punch, but I was not too worried about that. In comes Gastrodon, totally fine with this. I can just Swords Dance on this. They yawn me, which is perfectly fine, because I'm Lumberry. I knock off, nothing they can really do to me. Earth Power does absolutely nothing. So they put me to sleep, I wake back up, and I can get a Trailblaze kill. I'm now faster than Scarf Moth, and pretty much nothing they can do. At this point, Zarude is going to clean up and get all 6 kills. Terra Blast Water, they've already revealed Terra, or used Terra, so they can't Terra Grass their Moth. Although I could have also knock off the helmet. Maybe I should have Terra Blast Watered, but they don't have any priority, so I'm not too worried about taking chip anyways. Zarude gets 6 kills, that's up to 26 kills in 7 weeks. Last week, up against Dr. Stein, I brought Webs. I have a Cutiefly 1-pointer. So here it is. Really scary team. Scarf GU, fire move into my team. I didn't bring Rotom, so it's a very big threat. Gengar lead into Cutiefly, totally fine. Hoping it's not Taunt, it's not. Great. I can get up my Webs, and I am Air Balloon Blacephalon, so I should be able to spin block into Iron Treads at least once pretty comfortably. I go Deoxys, threatening the Psycho Boost Oko. I do click Psycho Boost here. Yeah. Does 45 because I think I'm Life Orb, right? Yeah. And obviously here's Superpower. Even if they're Scarf, I'm faster and I kill them with Superpower. But if they're Choppleberry, they live and they get the spin-off, I think I lose the game to Scarf Chio. So I go Blacephalon here, not risking them being Choppleberry. Even though Knockoff is a really free play for them this turn. But they actually end up high horsepowering instead, which is great for me. I now threaten Fire Move and getting an Oko. Flamethrower does 90 to Gengar. I kind of wish I was Fire Blast, just get that kill, would have been nice. I can go Tusk here though. I am Booster Speed, I think, right? Yeah. Shadow Ball does quite a big chunk. And I can get the Headlong Rush Oko. They disabled my Headlong Rush. As Azu comes in, I do have Supercell Slam though, which is going to do pretty solid damage here. There's also a Tornadus on the bench, that's why I had Supercell Slam. Also helps against Hawlucha. Whirlpool is going to take me out, as I can go into Zarudum, Terra Blast Electric, and can take it out here. Here comes Iron Treads. I'm once again going to switch into Blacephalon. I do not want this thing getting the spin off. The Ice Spinner, totally fine. I can just get a nice Flamethrower off here. In comes Chio, who typically would wall me. I could do like 40% with Flamethrower here, or I could do 100% with Explosion, and that is what I opt to do. Zuru comes back in, and at this point I think I'm pretty set to win the game. I do have Bulk Up. Just need to be careful of Encore Hawlucha, which definitely could beat me. Although I do have a pretty Fizz-Dip Tinkaton who will live a +2 close combat. They have Drum Beating, which is interesting. I also have Drain Punch on this to kind of help me stay healthy. Just a lot of turns of bulking up. I figured if they have Encore, nothing I can really do. I'm not going to Terra Blast into Rillaboom expecting the Encore. In comes Hawlucha. I bulk up again. Maybe that's not necessary. Oh no, that says that you turn in, sorry. I'm hoping they're not Encore here. They do just SD though, totally fine. I can Terra Blast and take them out. And then yeah, this Rillaboom, nothing they can really do. Just gonna be a couple Drain Punches away from getting 3 more kills with Zarude, ending at 29. So, really happy with Zarude this regular season. By far my all-time kill leader. I have not played playoffs yet. I'm entering that now. I'm facing Kioma, who is someone I've never beat. Actually, I'm 0-2 against him, but I decided to pick him because I thought I had a good matchup into his team compared to the other matchups who were worse and rematches. I did not want a rematch, so picked Kioma. Hopefully that goes well. And I think no matter how playoffs goes, I'll upload this. Maybe I'll win the whole thing, I don't know. But I guess I'll pause the recording here and continue on once the playoffs are done. Thanks for watching, and see you shortly. Hello everyone, I'm back, I guess, with playoffs of MSPL. This is lovely Zarude team you see in front of you. We're facing Kioma, or not Kioma, as I should say. They have Terra Fire on their Pecharunt and Terra Fairy on their Entei. I'm very glad that they were Terra Fairy on Entei, because I actually ended up just having Terra Blast Ghost on my Zarude. That was my only attack. I was tinkering around with Drain Punch, but I really wanted Bulk Up, a healing move, and Encore. So I just did Terra Blast Ghost because their Ghost Resist was a Grimmsnarl, who doesn't really threaten me whatsoever. I can kind of just heal in front of it forever. So I brought Terra Blast Ghost to Zarude as my only attack. That's for the rest of the team. I brought Webs just because they're really nice into Zamazenta and Ogerpon. They're both item locked, and his only removal is Defog Zapdos. So if I can play around that, although it's tough, it really helps take off the edge of their biggest threats, because I really don't have a whole lot for Ogerpon Wellspring. And then Zama, I have Terra Goes Zarude for with Encore, so I should be able to beat that. I have Clear Amulet on it as well, to stop crunch defense drops. Prevents me from being confused by Zapdos or discharge paired by Zapdos. Also prevents Petrarunt from parting shot on me. Or Shadow Ball Spit F drop. So it's a really helpful item to have here. I was recommended it by someone I was mocking with, and it was a great idea. So Clear Amulet Zarude, offensive, whatever this guy's called, Deoxys with Taunt to try and help stop Defog. Webs, Cutiefly, nothing exciting. Blacephalon's Life Orb, Flame Charge, like dual stab explosion, I think. Rotom is screens, Tusk is attack booster. So here we go. This is a quarterfinals match, and I chose this opponent. I should mention that. So Zapdos, I was not ever going to lead Cutiefly. Leading it into Zapdos is just so bad for me, because I really don't want to go into Tusk, and it kind of just gives my opponent free momentum with a Volt Switch. So I lead Deoxys instead, seeing as there's no great Psycho Boost switch in. There is Lottie, but I can Thunder Wave that, which is great. So I just throw off a Psycho Boost turn 1. Huge damage onto Zapdos is fantastic. I eject pack out into Rotom. They Volt Switch. So they have momentum, but I've gotten a huge hit on Zapdos. It's really going to help out Great Tusk and Zarude. Having it in range of the two of them is quite handy. In comes Ogerpon though, huge problem. I go into Deoxys knowing that I can take a hit. They Power Whip, which do a ton of damage. This is the last hit Deoxys would take for about 20 turns, I think. This thing put in so much work this game, as you will see. So I'm back in, I can Psycho Boost again, or do I Thunder Wave first? I don't remember. I do Thunder Wave. So I Thunder Wave the Lottie as it comes in. I get up a Spike as the Agility. I Taunt again just to prevent them from setting up any more. I can't remember if this is where I thought I misplayed. No, I think it was a little later. Yeah, so I bring in Rotom knowing that they won't 2-KO me with anything, and I can get up a screen. Zama comes in, totally fine. Reflect goes up. They sub. As I Volt Switch, I can bring in Zarude. I can Terra Ghost, and they can't really do a whole lot of anything to me. So they do switch hard into Petrarunt. Alright, bulk up. And here's where I think I make a bit of a misplay. I probably should have just clicked Terra Blast here. I was getting really greedy and wanted to set up and win the game right now. I had Honor Webs up yet. I need some damage on Entei and Ogerpon. So it was a little greedy of me. I probably should have just clicked Terra Blast and gotten my damage. But instead I bulk up again, and they end up being faster than me. Now I don't have very much speed on my Zarude, so it's not like this thing is necessarily Choice Scarf. It did end up being Choice Scarf, but I didn't know that for sure at this point. So I bulk up again, but I don't want to go down to 20%. So I actually switch into Deoxys here to sack it. And then my Rotom would live a Shadow Ball from Petrarunt and then be able to get up a Light Screen. So I actually go into Deoxys here, but they switch out for some reason. Because they ended up being very offensive on their Petrarunt, so they thought they might just die to a Throat Chop or Darkest Lariat or something, and they didn't want to Terra, because maybe they wanted Terra on their Entei. But anyways, works out for me. I get my Deoxys in, and suddenly Zapdos is dead. Suddenly there's no more webs, or there's no more removal, I should say. Although I think Lottie gets defog, but I don't think they're defog on this set. So if I can get up webs, that would be fantastic. They can make a bit of a misplay here. I go into Rotom, knowing that they can't 2-KO me with anything. This play I think was fine, because I know I'll be faster this turn. This turn was pretty scary. I think I should have just clicked Volt Switch here on Ogerpon switching in, because this thing is too big of a threat to just click Light Screen as it comes in. My Reflect is now over, and if this gets a Trailblaze boost, it looks really bad. It'll be faster than my entire team, including Deoxys. Zarude might live a hit. If they're knockoff, it won't, but I don't think they can fit knockoff, especially because they have Grass move. Cutiefly Sash, so I can at least Toxic it, because I have Toxic, but it'll end up in me sacking a lot of my team. Luckily, though, they don't have Trailblazer, they didn't click it. So they knock me off, I have a Light Screen up. I can go to Cutiefly, U-turn, and then put it in range of Deoxys. Again, if they click Trailblaze here, really bad for me. They knock my sash, totally fine. I can U-turn a max attack actually on this, so it does really solid damage. And then I can go to Deoxys and click Psycho Boost. Lottie comes in, and I think I misplay here. I really should have taunted their setup Lottie. Although I do have a light screen up, so I think I go Zarude here. No, I go Cutiefly. I go Cutiefly because I want webs up, and I figured they're clicking Dragon Pulse here. I think this was a little greedy of me. Webs are good to get up here for sure, and I think I immediately win the game with webs up, assuming I can deal with this Lottie. And I figured it wasn't a problem. So I get my webs up because I have a light screen up. I hard switch into Zarude here. I don't want to U-turn and activate a weakness policy. So I go hard Zarude. Sword power not doing any damage to me. I have light screen up still. They sword power again, totally fine. I encore them into that, and I can synthesis up. They get fully paired, which is nice. So I have jungle healing actually this game, not synthesis. They sword power. I bulk up, and I think I misplay here. It's a roll for Tera Blast to kill. I think it does 74 to like mid 80s. So I'm taking a risk here, like a 50-50 kind of. And if I don't kill, and I activate a weakness policy, suddenly this thing's faster and OHKOing my entire team. And I just have to pray that it gets fully parried. Alternatively, I can spam jungle healing, which I have plenty of. It's a lot more likely that they're going to get fully parried than it is that I'm going to get crit. And even a crit would be a roll. So I really should have just spammed jungle healing until they get fully parried, allow myself to get another bulk up and guaranteed get the kill on this Lottie. But instead, I click Tera Blast, I don't kill, they get their weakness policy, and the Encore ends, which doesn't really matter, but they sword power, and suddenly, everything on my team dies. I need this thing to get fully parried. The only saving grace besides that is that this Lottie has no speed at all, and my Deoxys is just faster. So I go for that first. And they are faster, but they get fully paired, which is great. And I do hit Psycho Boost, so we're in the clear. I have webs up. I have Life Orb plus Cephalon and Attack Booster Tusk to hopefully clean up this game, but I do have to be careful. Zama comes in, totally fine. I can Thunder Wave this thing. Or do I taunt first? I think I taunt first, so it can't get a sub. Yep. I taunt as I sub, and now I can Thunder Wave it. I miss. Doesn't really matter, because either way, plus Cephalon is coming in to outspeed and kill them. I do wonder if the play could have been to Psycho Boost it instead, to put it in range of Flame Charge. Although having the speed boost doesn't really make a difference in any way, so maybe that doesn't matter. I Flamethrower, pick up the kill, and I think I make a bit of a misplay here. I can figure that this is probably Choice Scarf Petulant, which means even after webs it's going to be faster than my Great Tusk. I need to be careful, because if I click Headlong Rush and get a defense drop, then Shadow Ball into E-Speed can kill my Tusk. It's also a roll for my Blacephalon to kill Entei here. So I think my best play was either sacking Cutiefly, which is probably the play, although I want to be careful of Trailblaze, or because it's Terra Fairy, so Terra Fairy Tera Blast could kill Tusk, or I can go hard Tusk. And I hope they don't click Trailblaze this turn, which I don't think they would. So rather than doing that, I take my chance with Blacephalon, Shadow Ball, and it ends up being AV, so I don't come particularly close to killing, and they connect to Stone Edge and just kill me. So now, Scarf Petulant's faster than everything on my team. Unless I get a speed boost with Tusk. Granted, it's Terra Fire on Petch, so Headlong Rush is going to kill it, whether it Terras or does not. But I also need to be careful of Destiny Bond. I don't know if they have it, but if they do, they'll be faster, and then I'll be able to click that. So I go Great Tusk, and I have a bit of an awkward turn. I can click a really free Headlong Rush and get a guaranteed kill. And if I kill this with Headlong Rush, Petulant comes in, I live a Shadow Ball, I kill them in return, I win the game. Unless they have Destiny Bond. Alternatively, I can click Rapid Spin here, which would allow me to be faster than Petulant. But if they go hard Petulant, then I don't get the spin boost, and now they're still faster than me, and they still have their Entei in the back. So, do I think they're going to stay in, or sack Wellspring, or do I think they're going to go hard Petulant? I think they're not going hard pitch, so I do click Rapid Spin this turn as they sack Wellspring, which means Tusk is going to be able to clean up his game. Headlong Rush will kill the Petrarunt, and Entei will go down to another Headlong Rush, I think is what I click. Yeah. So, close game, really awkward. I don't think I played particularly well. Definitely misplayed around the Lottie. Would have been a much easier game if I would have just kept Zarude around and set up a little more in front of it while it was paralyzed. And then also the turn I set up webs allowing Lottie to set up more rather than just going right into Zarude. When I had an extra turn of light screen or two, would have been pretty helpful. Also the Volt Switch with Wellspring, I got a little lucky that my opponent did not bring Trailblaze. But anyways, that is quarterfinals. We move on to semifinals, and it is a rematch. Facing Pyro, who we played earlier in the season, and they bring effectively the same team from what I can see. Terra Dragon Bolt, same 6 Pokemon. Mega Scizor, by the way. So, I bring a very similar team as well. I brought Vanilluxe last time, but I decided to bring Blacephalon this time around. I brought a pretty Fizdef Blacephalon. I wanted a one-time switch into Scizor. So I'm Colbur Berry max defense with a little bit of HP. It'll at least let me switch in once. I live a knockoff into a Bullet Punch, and allows me to threaten out Scizor. If they Swords Dance as I switch in, fine. If they knock off, fine. Dual Wing Beat, I think is the... Actually, no, I think I would have Dual Wing Beat into Bullet Punch as well, because it's weaker than... or no, it would be... No, it might be close, because Bullet Punch... No. Dual Wing Beat is stronger than knockoff. Assuming I have Colbur Berry, because of Technician. Anyways, all that to say, do I lead Deoxys here? I think I do. I do. Okay. Samurai lead, totally fine. I'm faster than this thing if it's Choice Scarf. I have a couple options. I can go hard into Rotom. It's Fizdef, Rocky Helmet. I'll punish this thing by clicking Ceaseless Edge. Or I can click Superpower. I'm a Jetpack, so I can get some chip and then go into it. Which is quite helpful. Rotom's also really nice here because there's no ground type. Volt Switch is very free. I need to be careful of Sucker Punch, but I don't think they're clicking Sucker Punch here, because if you Sucker Punch as I click Rocks, you lose a lot. So I click Superpower here, and I get the turn right. They're Chople though, so burning that is nice. The next Superpower is going to be a Roll to kill, so I'll have to watch out for that, but yeah, I can just go Rotom here. Ceaseless Edge does a lot of damage, but a really free Volt Switch for me. I had the option of clicking Defog this turn instead to get the spike off, and I really wanted to do that, but I thought keeping up momentum was a bit more important. I go into Tinkaton, seeing as this is Terra Dragon, so I know it can't do a whole lot to me. I'm pretty Spadef, I have Citrus Berry as well. I get up my Rocks, thinking they would switch, but they stay in and get a Volt Switch off, so a little unfortunate. After a spike, I will get my Citrus Berry, which is nice. Scizor comes in, I go hard with Cephalon. I brought this thing for it, so that's what we're here to do. They just U-turn though, which is too bad. Raging Bolt comes in, and I just want my damage. Blacephalon can no longer switch in on Scizor. It'll die to knock off into Bullet Punch. So I just click Shadow Ball and get some damage. That'll be helpful to put it in range of Zarude in the late game. I'm Terra Electric Zarude, by the way. It's a very similar, it's actually the exact same moves and item as last time. Bulk Up, Synthesis, Terra Blast Electric, and Darkest Lariat. But I brought a lot more Fizdef this time. I was very fast last time. I brought enough speed to outspeed Samurott. This time around, I brought much less. I don't remember what the speed was for. I think it was probably for a modest Raging Bolt if I had to guess, but much slower on Zarude this time around. I go Tinkaton just to click Play Rough. I think it's pretty free now. And I end up getting a crit, which is quite nice. That totally mattered. It would not have killed otherwise. Bolt being dead is fantastic, of course. Typhlosion comes in. I don't have a great switch in. Rotom will live 2 fire moves, even Fire Blast. And fire moves obvious here. I could switch Rotom as Fire move gets clicked and get a free Volt Switch, which is really nice. Or my other option is predict them predicting me. They click Shadow Ball here, which is free into my team, to be honest. It would 2k a Rotom, which means they just get a kill. But I'm assuming the 6 Choice Scarf. It took rocks. It's screaming Choice Scarf. So if they make that play, if they click Shadow Ball into my Rotom, I can go Zarude and start setting up. So that is the play I make. If they click Shadow Ball and read me here, which they do, I don't really care. They Shadow Ball again, but this gives me a Zarude opening. And looking at their team and looking at Tera Blast Electric, it's looking really good. They go hard Enamorous, which is really surprising to me. I'm like, why did you go hard Enamorous? You know I'm Tera Electric. I bulked up, and we see why they went into it. They are Wakanberry, so they end up living. Unfortunately for them, Earth Power doesn't do that much damage. They don't get a drop there. That was really important, as you'll see in a couple turns. But I am just able to Tera Blast again. Leftovers gets me back decently healthy. And they go Typhlosion, which was not what I was expecting. I thought maybe Psychic Noise Mesprit might come in. Although, like, assuming they have Colbur Berry. If they don't, then they probably just die to Throat Chop. So, they go into this. This can't kill me. So I click Synthesis, figuring, okay, if they click Fire Blast, they could miss, and I could just get back to full, and also be getting leftovers every single turn. They end up having Lava Plume, which doesn't do too much damage. It does burn me, which is too bad, but now they're locked into Lava Plume. I can just get back to full. After a couple turns of doing this, I get another bulk up greedily. Unlucky they didn't crit me at all here. I think I get another Synthesis here. Yep. Another, and I think one more. Yeah. Lava Plume as I kill them here. Darkest Lariat. They go into Scizor. Totally fine. I think I bulk up this turn. Yeah. I bulk up because I want to be able to outdamage their Roosts, which I'm not close to doing at all right now. In comes Mesprit. I think I click Synthesis here, just in case it Psychic Noises me. I want to be able to get the Synthesis off first. They do a Psychic Noise, totally fine. I think I bulk up again here. Yes, because I figured they probably are either Colbur or Citrus Berry, and getting this bulk up allows me to 2-KO them, whereas if I don't get that last bulk up, it would be a 3-hit KO. So either way, they're getting the same amount of damage on me, but by clicking bulk up again, I get an extra boost to take the hits from the last two better. So that ends, I get my last Synthesis off, and I can Darkest Lariat as they are Citrus Berry. I can Darkest Lariat again to get the kill, and then nothing on their team can really kill me at this point. I'm locked at 36%, I'll never gain more health because I'm burned. But they go Scizor, my Darkest Lariat is 40, not bad damage. They can Roost all that off though, so they're going to get stalled out of Roosts eventually, but they're slowly gaining health. I click Bulk Up just to threaten them a little more. It also helps me take a hit a little bit better, but is pretty marginal at this point. It's diminishing returns on boosts, but still getting something. Samurott comes in, totally fine. I end up actually being faster than the Samurott, which tells me they're pretty bulky, which I already knew because of how much Superpower did, but I didn't actually calc it in the moment, which was really bad of me. I should have known this thing was like max HP, which is, I'm assuming, what it was. In comes Scizor, and it can Roost as much as it wants, really, but it's not going to beat me from this point unless they get a critical hit. Full Punch, not doing anything, and down they go. So Zarude picked up 5 kills there, fantastic. So Zarude actually got no kills against Kioma, but here against Pyro I got 5 more kills, so I'm up to 34 kills on this Zarude. If I have a good finals performance, it could actually become my top kill leader in just one season. I'm facing Umber, who was the only person to beat me in the regular season, in finals. I've actually not played the game yet, I'm recording this prior, just to see like have an unbiased view of the game. I don't think I'll be uploading this whole series until after finals, so I can say whatever I want. I won't spoil anything to my opponent. Obviously not the matchup I wanted. It's the only person that beat me. They beat me by making really aggressive reads, which worked out every single turn, and it was really well played for my opponent. They made the plays they had to. I think otherwise they would have lost the game. So it's going to be an awkward team for me to build because I felt like I brought the right team the first time, but it just did not work because of how my opponent played against me. I don't even think I played the team wrong. It's just that my opponent outplayed the way I did. So it's going to be awkward to predict them if they're going to predict me. Or I can try and change the team to make it prediction proof, I guess. But I don't know how realistic that is. But hopefully it goes well. Would be nice to get the win. It's my third season using Deoxys Speed, and this would be the third time I would get a cup with it. I've never lost a league with Deoxys, so keeping that going would be really nice. Deoxys Speed was one of the first Pokemon I ever drafted, and I really like using it in draft. It's the Pokemon I brought to the most games. I think I'm over 30 at this point. So is my opponent in finals. Ha, got him. Sorry, Umber. Anyways, see you in finals. I'm gonna stop this here, but hopefully it works out. Hello everyone, Jamarcus here, and I'm here with finals of MSPL Celebi Division. We're facing Umber, Umbreon, John, whatever you want to call him. And he's the only person who beat me in the regular season. So not the matchup I was looking for in finals, but it's the matchup I have. Battle of the Grass Dark types. Changed the team somewhat from the original, from the regular season. I have the exact same Blacephalon, pretty much, the exact same Tusk, a very similar Tinkaton, very similar Rotom. Except my Zarude is now Terra Grass, because his team is really, weak to Terra Grass Power Whip. Unfortunately, the Scizor showed up. I was expecting Clefable over Scizor. Terra Grass really helps cut through like an unaware Clefable. And keeping the water resist and the ground resist for the Keldeo and Lando is really nice. So as that Terra Grass looked really nice. It also makes me able to take U-turns comfortably enough. Dio's just attacking Life Orb. I have Nasty Plot. The idea with Tinkaton is to pickpocket the Choice Scarf on Meow, which is what I'm expecting. And then late game Dio, I think looks really good. That's the plan. We'll see if it actually works out. My plan is always to lead Rotom. I think it matches up quite well into everything. So, here's Lano, fantastic. Very free Hydro Pump for me. Latias comes in, totally fine. Not very bulky based on that damage. I go Tinkaton on this. I do want to keep Tinkaton around for Meow, but it's my initial switch into this Lati. If I start setting up, I can figure something out. Alternatively, I could have just stayed into Thunder Wave, but I didn't want to take a huge Draco because Rotom looks really good into Heatran, Lando, and Scizor. Even getting like a Thunder Wave on one of the faster mods would be nice. So I think Rotom looks really good. With that being said, I'm eject button, so I take the Psychic, and I get switched out, and I decide to just go back to Rotom. My other options here are go Zarude, Terra Grass Trailblaze into Knockoff should kill this Lati. But if I Trailblaze into Flame Body Heatran, it's really bad for me because I'm not Jungle Healing or Lumberry or anything. So I didn't want to go for that option. Or I can go Dio, click Ice Beam, do a lot, and then die to Draco. So I didn't want to do that either. Same with Blacephalon. I'm Spec, so I'd be slower, and I would just die to Draco. Where a Shadow Ball would kill though. And I can go Tusk. Ice Spinner's doing like 40% of this, so that's not good. So I really have to go Rotom here, and I'm just going to throw off a Thunder Wave because nothing really wants to come in. I'll take a big hit from Psychic. It's okay. I can Thunder Wave. This turn I just Pain Split. It'll help me take me out of range of Draco. They get fully paired. I'll take it. And then I Volt Switch. After this Volt Switch, and after the Pain Split, it's now in range of Knockoff from Zarude. So I can just go into Zarude here. They do recover though, so I won't kill now, but it's still nice to get a knockoff on something. I thought they might save Lottie. So I click knockoff here. I could have Swords Danced, but +2 knockoff doesn't kill Scizor or Heatran anyways, so I figure just getting them knocked off and then switching is my best course of action. But they actually just stay in. I get a crit, which is nice, as they Draco, totally fine. The crit didn't really matter. Knockoff's 2 KOing anyways. Maybe they could have saved this. Like they take the knockoff and then switch, but I feel like you would have just done that. Switch on turn 6 anyways. So down goes Lottie. Zarude picks up his 35th kill in this one season. Lando comes in. I could Terra Grass Trailblaze this, but didn't want to. It's the most obvious U-turn in the world, so I just go Blacephalon. My 4 times resist shouldn't take a whole lot. I do want to be careful that I keep this out of range of Bullet Punch from Scizor though. In comes Meow. Knockoff is probably getting clicked here. It's a really awkward turn for my opponent, because if they knock off or U-turn, Tinkaton's going to take their item. And I really want this thing's Choice Scarf gone, or if they're just like Boots or whatever, taking that would be great as well. So their only way to avoid that is to double or to click like Flower Trick, which doesn't make contact. But again, clicking U-turn or Flower Trick or switching on my Blacephalon here is a really awkward play for them to make. Because if I'm just clicking Shadow Ball here, their Heatran's getting 2-hit KO'd, unless they're AV or like Spadef Citrus Berry. So it's a really awkward turn from my opponent. I do go Tinkaton and make the obvious play, and they do just U-turn, totally fine, and its Choice Scarf is now gone. Really nice. Tinkaton's now Choice Scarf, which you know is not ideal of course, but maybe that can get knocked off later on in the game. And then in comes Heatran. With Lottie dead, I didn't feel like Tinkaton was as necessary, because Tinkaton's also here to kind of help against the Clefable, but Clefable did not show up, so it's really only here for the Meow now, but since its Choice Scarf is gone, I'm not too concerned about it. I have Trailblaze on Zarude, so at +1 I'm faster, and same thing with Dio, I'm faster, and same thing with Tusk, I'm faster, so I'm not as worried about Meow anymore. So I'm okay risking them clicking a Fire move on me, even though I don't think they are, because Rotom's such an obvious play. So I do take this turn to get my Rocks, and they do the same thing. So Rocks up for me are really nice. It's going to help guarantee that this Heatran gets 2-hit KO'd by Spec Shadow Ball. It's also going to help Tusk like 2-hit KO things with Earthquake, like a Keldeo, and even like Earthquake into Ice Spinner, killing Meow. So Rocks being up is really nice. Also bad for me because now Blacephalon's taking Rocks. Really only has 1 more switch in, maybe 2, to where it can live a Scizor or Bullet Punch if they're like Life Orb or something. I go Rotom, really easy play for me to make. No burn is nice. I get my Citrus Berry up, and a really free Hydro Pump. I don't click it though, I click Thunder Wave. I didn't think Lando was coming in. I didn't really care if it did, because I can just click Hydro Pump this turn. I wanted to catch my opponent on an aggressive Meow switch. Maybe they wanted to take the Hydro Pump and then kill with a Flower Trick. So I click Thunder Wave there. It doesn't work out, but that's fine. I can just click Hydro Pump this turn. The U-turn does some decent damage, but it's alright. Heatran comes in, Hydro Pump, cleanly 2-hit KOing. Reveals that they are pretty much max Spadef. They protect, totally fine. I can just click Pump the next turn. In comes Lando. They're just giving me chip on everything, which is great. This is really good for endgame Zarude. Having Heatran after Rock's gonna die to knockoff, and same thing with Lando. Or just dying to Trailblazes is quite helpful. The Rock Tomb, which reveals that they are not choiced. I thought they'd be Choice Scarf, given that they were just clicking U-turn, but they're not. I Pain Split thinking that they would U-turn and like go into Heatran, and I can get a little bit more health back. But they U-turn this turn, now they go Heatran. Unfortunately, I don't play Pain Split here, I just click Pump. But down goes Heatran. That's really nice. It's a little easier to click Fire move now with Blacephalon. I don't need to worry about Flash Fire. Keldeo doesn't really like taking a Specs Flamethrower. Speaking of Keldeo, it's in and Rotom is getting sacked. They flip turn, tells me they're probably choiced. Well, they're not Boots. And I don't think they're going to be Calm Mind flip turn. So I'm thinking their Choice Scarf may be Mystic Water. But yeah, some kind of set like that. I don't think they would be Calm Mind here. In comes Lando, this thing's just going to get sacked. I decide to kill with Dio. Because Dio's going to bait in Scizor, and I want Scizor in to take some damage, and I can go Great Tusk on it. Down goes Lando. Scizor comes in, unsurprisingly, and I can just go into Great Tusk on knockoff and click Bulk Up. Just kidding. They are dual wing beat and they are choice banded. So I know I'm faster here. I can get an Earthquake off on this Scizor, which would be really nice. I also do have a Tinkaton that I can go into this turn if I wanted. But I do just stay in and click Earthquake. Meow comes in. Because of the rocks, it's going to get 2 KO'd by Earthquake into Ice Spinner. In comes Scizor to Bullet Punch, kill me, which is fine. I know that they're Choice Band, and Blacephalon's barely out of range of a Choice Band Bullet Punch, so I can get a really free Shadow Ball here and get a kill. Shadow Ball will always kill a max HP Scizor. I know they're max attack, so maybe if they were like max Spadef, that could have been a misplay. I probably could have just clicked a fire move here to guarantee it. If they were max attack, max Spadef, they might have lived that Shadow Ball. And then, I mean, my Zarude should live a Bullet Punch. I'm not sure if Tinkaton dies. I think it would live. I'm max Fizz so I could get Gitten Hammer to kill. But a little awkward. I just didn't want to be locked into Fire move. I potentially Calm Minded Keldeo still. Again, I really don't think it's Calm Mind, but I wanted to play this endgame very safely. So I stay in here, locked in on Shadow Ball. And I go to Tinkaton here. I'm Choice Scarf, so I'll be able to be faster and Thunder Wave them before they sub up or anything. And if they are sub, they'll be paralyzed. And I can sack Dio in the Encore with Tinkaton. Also, if they're Scarf, it tells me that they're Scarf, and then I can just go Zarude safely. Zarude's a really easy play to make here. I just wanted to be careful, like, if I go Zarude, I'm Terra Grass. If they randomly have Air Slash, I don't want to lose the game to some flinches. So, I thought clicking Scarf Thunder Wave was the best course of action for this endgame, although it seems a little unnecessary. I probably could have just gone Zarude. They get fully paired, which is nice. They're not Choice Scarf. I bring in Dio, they hit Hydro Pump, unfortunately. Dio goes down. And then yeah, I can just go Zarude and kill with Terra Grass Trailblaze. And just like that, I pick up another cup and I go 3 for 3 with Deoxys. Every time I've drafted this thing, it has gotten me a cup. It's a good mod. I recommend it. Although it's not easy to use. I think I got 3 kills all season with Deoxys. That's partly Zarude's fault. 36 kills in one season, 29 in the regular season, and then another 7 in playoffs. By far my best performing Pokemon ever. Previously it was Terapagos, 20 kills in the regular season and only 3 more in playoffs, which that was also a final team. I won finals with that team as well, but yes, Zarude 36 in one season is pretty good. I'm very proud of that. It actually ties Keldeo for my highest kill leader, and it's taken Keldeo 3 seasons to get to 36. Zarude's only been on one team and 36 kills already. But I don't think I'll ever draft this Pokemon again, just because I want to keep this stat. There's a lot of other high tier Terra captains I would want to use before I use Zarude again, and I don't think I would really draft non-Terra Zarude. Although I think it can still work out. I mean, Zarude was like pretty good that game, and I Terra'd on the final turn. And I still got 2 kills. I didn't need the Terra. Actually, I would have had to hit Power Whip. But that's besides the point. But yeah, really happy with Zarude, of course. Let's find the team. It's over here. Can you see this? Kind of. Let's zoom it in. There we go. That's acceptable enough. Maybe I'll do that. Okay. Really professional here, I know. So yeah, 36 kills on Zarude. Also 15 on Great Tusk. I think did fantastic. It's also approaching one of my top kill leaders with 25 kills in just 18 games. It's also the second time I've used Tusk and the second cup I've won with it. So Great Tusk is up there with my, oops, that's items. I don't think you really care about that, or stats. But you can look if you want, pause the video, whatever. This team was really interesting. I mean, it's Nat decks, but I have a lot of Polydex mods that really just have Blacephalon and Mega Pidgeot, which showed up to week 2 and then never again. It was a very much a top 6 carry. Webs worked out both times. Vanillix came to one game and was alright, and Muck was decent as well. But yeah, this top 6 felt really good to use. Some lacking resists. I think like my water resists on this team weren't great. Zarud kind of had more pressure as being my water resist than I would have liked, probably due to me not having a dragon type. But yeah, the top three, Zarud, Great Tusk, Dio. I mean, those are all borderline round 1 mons, if not like round 1, obviously the top 2 are. And then Dio, I think, is a top 16 mon, maybe not in um, that decks, and especially not on the board that this division had, with Chen Pao and Kieran Black and Mega Alakazam and some other broken things. But Charizard reigns supreme. I don't imagine I will ever get higher kill stats on any mon. 36 kills in 11 games. There's a good portion of the season where I was averaging 4 kills a game, averaging over 3 kills per game. All in the end of things. Rotom Wash really proved itself. I very much enjoyed Rotom. Natdex, it's nice that it has Defog, but that's really the only tool it has. I think it has like Sucker Punch too, but I've never brought that, obviously. Highly recommend Rotom Wash. It's a fantastic ground counter. Not that my team like really needed it. Going Tusk and take an Earthquake, and Zarud's not bad either. But yeah, highly recommend Rotom. Blacephalon was fun too. I don't think I did it a ton of justice. It came to 8 games, only 5 kills. Although some of those games I just ended up sweeping with Zarud before Blacephalon could do anything. But yeah, that's the team. And Tinkaton, first time I've used Tinkaton. Oh my god, I'm addicted to this thing, which isn't surprising because I love Encore, but it's just an incredible utility mon that I feel like is a little underpriced on a lot of the boards I play on. Like I've seen this thing at 9 points. I think it's like a 12 pointer. This thing just feels like it always puts in work. It only didn't show to 1 game, and that was quarterfinals where I brought webs. But yeah, Tinkaton's so good. I think it's fine as your only steel, and it's fine as your only fairy. Like it's my only dragon resist on this team, so it can be a little awkward. You can definitely get another steel or another fairy, especially if you have an offensive fairy like an Enamorous or an Iron Valiant, or maybe like a Primarina even. Having Tinkaton as your steel type is pretty nice. It can help take like some of the pressure off your other fairy to be your dark resist. And then yeah, Pidgeot, I don't know why I drafted that thing. It was really just for the speed tier. I thought it might do a bit more work than it really did. Muk always great. Great cheap grounded poison, some good utility on it. Knockoff, T-Spike's toxic. It's a good mod. Kind of a necessary fairy resist for my team. A lot of pressure on Tinkaton to be my dragon check and my fairy check, because Blacephalon is my other fairy resist otherwise, which is not good, obviously. But that's the team. That's the season. Hopefully you enjoyed the post commentary, but before playoffs. So I didn't know I would end up winning the whole thing. Thanks for watching. I'm sure this is a long video. I'll edit it all together now. But see you later.